So I started streaming. Oh, before well, I hit start, but we're gonna talk for a bit, let people come in.
Let people
I
come in.
I
We're gonna
got
let
something
people come
exciting for you, Red. I got something exciting.
in.
You're not gonna see it
Yeah,
for 30 seconds until you see it on the stream, right?
sure.
Right?
Sure.
I got a 2 minute countdown. That's well, no, hold on. Are you ready for it?
You have a countdown
Oh,
clock?
you're ready for it. 2 minute countdown starting right now.
Oh
We're
man,
counting
I
down.
love countdown clocks. They're one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
And this, but just letting everyone know while you're joining in, we're not starting just yet. There's a 2 minute countdown clock,
yeah.
but
That'll.
this is Loser Leaves Wrestling. Loser Leaves Wrestling. Grab some snacks, right, Moet?
Yeah, get some snacks. Get
Get
some
some
drinks. Let's hang
snacks.
out. Light some
Let's talk.
candles. Let's hang
Oh,
out.
sure, sure, sure. What's your favorite candle scent?
Vanilla. I like vanilla. Just something kind of
Okay.
sweet and simple. Yeah, yeah. What about you?
I like spicy. I like that
Cinnamon?
cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
thought
a
so.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
I'm apple cinnamon
Yeah.
all day apple cinnamon.
Can you see the
Um,
countdown?
I don't see the us on the stream.
It should be on. It should be going right now. I see 3 viewers watching. Oh, Smoiz is up.
Swizz, don't. Oh man, I'm missing it. I'm missing. Oh, here we are. It's right here. Swizz, bless your soul. Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. We still have we get some snacks, get some things. We're gonna be talking about loser leaves. This today's dynamite. It's dynamite today.
Okay, but
We
be
got a
quick because
dynamite.
we have less than a minute left in this random timer that I just started.
How much minute? What's our
We're at
timing
50,
right now?
50 seconds left, Red.
Okay, you have to give me a countdown once we get to like 15. Give me a
Red,
heads up when it's at 20.
look, this is the.
Give me a heads up
I
when it's
wanted
at
to
20.
surprise you with the countdown, and I absolutely hate it. It just makes me so anxious just looking at this timer
Oh,
and knowing you
we
can't
love
see it. It's making me talk
Swizz,
fast. And
Swizz, how do you feel about the timer? I think this is a good
it's
idea.
a
I think this is a
pre-show.
really
Pre-show timer, Smoiz. This is what we're
pre-show
trying to
timer.
do to get people settled in and stuff, so they know when the show starts.
Honestly,
But
what I was thinking about doing, I was thinking about getting a Google Voice phone number so people could call in, and they could call in. We'll put them right up in the speaker.
can you do
I was
that?
thinking about doing.
I didn't know that
Oh
was
yeah,
possible.
I've seen streaming shows do that. You just get a Google Voice number, you put it on the bottom, just like call
Yeah.
here, and we can take calls.
Who it would go straight to you. Technically, the timer just ended. It froze at 1, but I'm just gonna hide it.
Welcome
Right
to
there.
Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the WOOS and WHATS of AEW Dynamite. As always, my name is Red Jefferson. I'm back with the legendary. What is the word for the original? The original?
Sure.
No, there's like. No, what if you're like the original members of the NWO? You'd say original members. One of the original members of the LLW crew, Moet Chisel.
What? Wow. What a beautiful intro. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We got Moet here with a brand new headband. You want to talk about that headband, Moet?
It's green. I lost the pink one. It's somewhere in the apartment, and I need a headband because the chat is gonna yell at me if I don't wear a headband. So and I love it. I love it. It's great.
We all love the headband.
Yeah.
It makes you look real stylish, real young. S just said here, y'all need an intro. Have the countdown and then roll the intro, y'all filmmakers. S, you're
Yeah.
throwing some serious shade right now. You're being sweet, but you're also throwing to be a little
No,
sassy
that's
with
not
that film.
shade. No, he's being.
Was that shade?
No, they're being super sweet. Yeah, it's a compliment,
S,
Red.
well, I'm just very careful with S because I feel
Oh.
like S has been in the dog pound a few times now. But we're here.
I'm so glad that's still happening. I've been gone for a
I
couple
think
weeks or something like that. Yeah.
Well, let's all welcome. Give a hoot hoot for Moet in the chat. Give him a good hoot hoot. This is the WHO's and WHATS of AEW Dynamite, and this has been AEW at least the past couple weeks. I don't know about you, Moet, but it feels very transitional. You know, I
Yeah,
feel
sure.
like they're like. I wouldn't say this was a bad episode, but I wouldn't say this is an amazing episode. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, it was a solid TV episode. Didn't
Solid.
Don't think I hated really anything in it. Yeah, and it was great. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I think it was very middle of the road. Very middle of the road. Let's dive into this. Let's talk a little bit about our woos and whats. Let's talk with the woos because we all like to talk about the fun stuff, the big woos of the evening. You're looking at the chat like there's something real informative going on. Should I jump in the chat?
No, there's nothing there. I'm looking at my list. I'd love for you to start if you could, because I don't have.
Yeah.
I didn't rank it yet.
I literally have 5 woos, 5 things that I liked, and that's all I wrote. Sometimes I have to narrow it down or cross them off. My main woo of the evening, Britt Baker promo.
Yeah.
Britt Baker promo. Britt Baker in her hometown of Pittsburgh. They love her to death, even when she kind of like negs them a little bit, just like, and we could all use a champion in this town, like
Don't
it's just
care. They don't care. They no sold it. No sold it. Sorry. Yeah, they're just like, yeah,
loved
they're
it.
still she's still talking about me. Loved
They
it.
like when she treats them like shit. Like that's the great part about Brit is she treats you like shit, and just like Tony loves to be treated like shit. He loves it so much. So when she rags on Tony, like in the entire Pittsburgh audience, wow, what a scene! What energy when she came
Well,
out.
because she's like really nice to Tony now, right? So I wonder if that's her way of like testing people or something. That's her way of like
She
showing
still
love.
treats him like shit. She'll like give him a hug, but then she'll diss him every now and then, or she'll put her hand in his face, or
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of like, all right, Tony, like kind of treats him like a child, and Tony eats it up with a spoon.
She's really just
He
a bad
loves,
friend, and he's very lonely. Is how that works
yeah,
out. Yeah.
definitely a bad friend, definitely very lonely. No Reba, a rebel tonight.
Hmm.
No rebel tonight. Which I think is fine. We don't always need to see Rebel. And I think this was perfect for her just to be out there alone, kind of give her Pittsburgh Valley cry. But what the issue is I see with this, with Rampage is coming up, right, Moa? Rampage
This Friday,
is this Friday.
the debut, the Rampage
This Friday.
era, they're calling it for sure.
Did you? And so, like, with her facing Red Velvet in Pittsburgh, Red Velvet is going to take a pretty big hit. Like, I feel like this is a poorly booked match because everyone's so behind Britt Baker, and Red Velvet's a face, and they booed her when they mentioned Red Velvet. They booed her. Do you think this is a good matchup? Do you like this matchup?
I don't know if I care about the matchup. What I care is to see Britt Baker in Pittsburgh, with that in a match with that crazy audience and everything, debuting the main event of Rampage and everything. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. I feel like they're leaning into that. The Red Velvet is sort of playing a heelish version. I mean, otherwise she wouldn't have attacked Britt after the promo, right? I think they know exactly what they're doing, so I'm totally fine with it.
I just feel like Red Velvet has done so much so far to try and get the crowd behind her, and she hasn't really gotten over as a face yet.
Mm-hmm.
And for her to kind of like take this back step, I hope she just becomes heel then. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is just for this show, and I feel like next week when she's moved on from Britt Baker, she's just going to be dead. Like the crowd's going to be dead for her after seeing her booed out of the building during Britt Baker. She's just in the middle of the road. You don't think it's going to be a problem?
Well, no. What I'm wondering, what I want to ask you real quick is like, how invested are you in Red Velvet? Because I don't care. I'm excited to see her like grow right now, and I see this almost like we already know Britt Baker's gonna win. I don't think there's gonna be any surprise in there. It's just gonna be a good performance, right? But like, I don't know. What do you think about Red Velvet?
It's not. I'm not a huge Red Velvet fan. I've never been a huge Red Velvet fan. I think she's a great athlete, and I would like to see something with her. And I feel like they spent so much time making her a good person. And we even have some people in the chat here. We have Swizz saying, "How can she be heel? She's straight from your mama's kitchen." And that's a good point. Like they just they make her to such a good guy, so just a good person, and then having her get booed out of the building. It's going to be weird moving on for her. I think this is a weird move for her to be booked in this match.
I guess that's a really good point, Swizz and everyone. She is straight from my mama's kitchen.
That's a good Swizz. You're making some good points so far. We have S here. S says it's giving Red Velvet's character some nuance. I don't think she's really working as a pure babyface. I think this might add to her character. Hopefully, I just don't want to see her become Jello. Like I don't want to see her become. In all honesty, Big Swole just kind of fell by the wayside. Who else fell by the wayside? That was Rio or what's her name, Sheeta. Like it's just like it feels like they don't have any momentum, especially when you're facing someone like Britt Baker. Britt Baker just swallows you whole. Mm-hmm. Britt Baker, unless you are a solid, powerful opposition to her, will anyone get anywhere? They just kind of die off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're building everybody up right now, which is why I think this match is going to be good for Red Velvet to prove what she can do now. I mean, she's like improved so much since she started a year ago or whatever it's been.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has.
I guess the whole thing about it is I actually don't remember if we've talked about it on like a Dynamite stream about how this reminds me in a very small way of like the Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin feud. Oh, no, not Stone Cold. Sorry, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, Attitude Era.
Which one? The Britt Baker and who?
Red Velvet. Of how, like, when Bret was in Canada, he was seen as a face, but when he was in America, he was seen as a heel.
Sure, sure. And
It was against Shawn Michaels, right? Who the
I
hell was
just
it?
feel like it was against Sean.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
against
I just
everyone.
lost it for a second.
Whenever
But
Brett faced any,
all
yeah,
I'm getting is I felt like I was since I was living in Canada at the time. I was always like I just knew he was a face, even though the American crowds are booing Brett. So I just see this as the same way. I guess like S says, like it's like a nuance to the character. Like I know she's supposed to be seen as a face, but she's in Pittsburgh, so everyone's gonna boo her. So like that's just the dynamic. Britt's a heel,
sure.
but the crowd loves her because it's her hometown, you know. So it doesn't really bother me that much.
I guess I'm just worried. I'm just
Yeah.
worried, and maybe my worries are invalid. And hopefully, like Red Velvet's able to add on to the character. I'm just nervous, just the way it's happened with past Britt Baker opponents. Is they kind of just like Britt Baker is more important than bye,
Sure.
like as soon as it's over.
Yeah, that might be the way it works out, honestly. But
Which
yeah,
I'm
it is.
nervous
Yeah,
about.
it's kind of is what it
But
is.
I'm glad. Was that in your woos as well?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
Like I said, I liked
oh.
most of the match, or sorry, most of the show.
What would you say is one of your bigger woos of the evening? What would you put on your list?
Oh, did you like the last match? Did you like the main event?
What was the main event?
It's Jericho
Jericho versus Wardlow. It's a middle ground for me. I kind of feel like it was. I was just let down, right? Was that a woo for you? Was that a big? Or did you enjoy that?
There were moments that I really appreciated. Nothing really stood out, I guess, the whole episode. I just enjoyed it. You know, it was like a TV
Sure.
show, so it's hard to kind of pick things. But to start, yeah. So like, I guess Wardlow was just doing big power moves to him the entire time, playing into
Sure.
the labor stereotype, I guess, the stipulation. There's one moment where, yeah, he's doing power bombs constantly on him, right? There's one moment where he tried to do a power bomb and then it looked like Jericho slipped or something, or like it looked like it was a botch where he almost just like landed on his head, but then like Wardlow powered out, but like without missing a beat. Excalibur on commentary said like, "Oh, Jericho tried to escape with a Hurricanrana but missed," you know, and then Excalibur hit the power bomb, and I just thought that was brilliant. I thought that was like
Excalibur did a great job. One other thing is like I dislike the match. I guess I was just underwhelmed from what we've been getting. I feel like this, like a great concept. The Five Labors of Jericho is a great concept, but I just wish it was booked better. I wish it was Hoovy first. I'd say like Hoovy first, then some. I don't even know who it would be. I guess I wish it was. I guess I wish it was Spears first, then Hoovy, then Gage. Then I guess I could see Wardlow. I don't like the idea of MJF being at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'm fine with MJF being at the end. I think the issue is I think it's a situation where the fans, including us, like took the concept and ran with it further than what AEW actually planned. You know, because we were talking about how this was potentially like a Jericho retirement tour, and I read of how like each match was potentially supposed to be like showing off part of his career, you know? Like, I guess off the top of my head, like Nick Gage was sort of showing off like his ECW run, you know, and then Juventud was like the WCW run and stuff like that. And then it's clearly not what they wanted to do with the Five Labors at all. So like, it's kind of a bummer because we came up with a better story than what they did.
Yeah, if they had Lance Storm at the end.
Yeah.
Lance Storm to kind of like get at his heartstrings. That's his brother. That's his brother in there. That would have been really good. We got some things in here. Swiz says, when you see Paul White going out for a showdown with QT, it seems like he's in ring shape. Could have been him instead. It could have been Big Show instead.
As a labor. Yeah.
Big Show would have been a much better labor than Wardlow. Yeah. Wardlow, honestly, like, I don't get it. I don't get Wardlow. I don't think I see the money that everyone else does. I see someone with a good look, not great, a good look comparably, like looks like a wrestler, not terribly big, not terribly unique. He seems like many other big men his size, you know, for 6'2" 240 pounds. Like there's a lot of those floating around the wrestling world. I just don't necessarily see him as someone special. That's a big threat, you know?
Man. I think there's a lot of potential in him. I love the, it's called the F10, right? His finisher, that's what I thought I heard, but I don't remember them calling it on the commentary, but I love that finisher. I just think he can do a lot of really impressive, like athletic power moves that I personally haven't seen. I haven't seen that move before, you know? So I don't know. Sure. I just think he hasn't gotten enough screen time. Screen time. That's a filmmaker. He hasn't had enough fucking matches, man. I'm sorry.
This is a filmmaker take on wrestling. That's what we do here. Jericho's belt broke and Wardlow lost his grip. Yeah, that's another thing. Jericho's belt broke and then his pants started falling down during the match. Did you see that?
I did see that. I didn't know his belt broke. I knew something was clearly wrong because he kept seeing his butt every, the whole
because
match.
I guess he was doing those power bombs and picking them up by the belt. And it snapped off. And then we start seeing Jericho fuss with his pants because he doesn't want his gray underwear to be shown.
Super awkward.
He doesn't want anyone to see his gray underwear. Tony says, "Hey, boys, sorry I'm late. God, Dante Martin, what a performance!"
Yeah, we should have started with that. That was incredible.
Actually, let's maybe move on to that. Let's talk about that right now because boy, Dante Martin looked like a GD star. What a great performance! The Seidel's and Dante Martin versus the Elite. And usually I'm upset with this type of match, which it feels like it goes on like forever. They're giving too much to these guys that aren't very important to the show. But Dante Martin is just such a star. He wrestles like a star. He actually, it reminds me of a young Matt Sydal. Mm-hmm. Just in terms of the way he moves and the fact that he's not terribly good on the mic, but he gets over with his physical performance. He has such physical charisma. It's undeniable.
Yeah, I'm so glad that that AEW allows that. That like you don't need to be like a well-rounded performer. Like if he so clearly excels in the ring that it's okay, and like they're gonna give him time to do better promos in the future or something. Like it's so awesome that we got to see this match tonight.
Yeah. A great job. It was a great opener too.
A young Tony said just said a young Will Ospreay. I totally agree. Yeah, Will Ospreay has kind of had to slow down over the last couple years. But so I assume Dante Martin will probably have to do the same. But it's great to see it now until age catches up with him and everything.
Matt Sydal had to slow down. One way he didn't slow down, he just changed the way he wrestles. He's no longer the high flyer pulling out the solo high flyer. He's a technician that tries to do his catch can wrestling, which allows you to have a longer shelf life, but still you could remain your speed without worrying about hurting your knees and your lower back. Mm-hmm. But excellent point, Tony. I really like that. And look at the excellent point from S in here. Wardlow is boring. I think we can all agree. Give a honk for S. S is really showing us some good stuff here. Yeah. Swiz also says, I just hate the Seidels. Matt Seidel's gear is horrific. Get some tights that fit. Oh, okay, Swiz. Okay. You're dancing in the dog pan here because Matt Sydal is great. I think everyone likes Matt Sydal. It's Mike Sydal. What was that comment that you told me, Moet? What is that? Great text.
I said that Mike Sydal looks like the PlayStation 1 version of Matt Sydal. It's a creator wrestler with like the crappier tattoos on his back and
He's the Fire Pro Wrestling version of Matt Sydal. You ever play those games? The Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
I like Matt Sydal a lot. Dante Martin just did a great job. I think we could all agree that was. And Kenny Omega was being booed pretty great.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed
wait,
that.
Before we go to that part, Tony mentions the Seidels versus Lucha Brothers on Dark Elevation was so good, and I totally agree, Tony. It was awesome. Have you seen that match?
I did watch it. I was watching all afternoon. I was catching up on my elevations and darks. Yeah. And yeah, they're great. They really are great. And I make fun of Mike Sydal, and we collectively here at LLW make fun of Mike Sydal. We know he's a good sport about it. But he's very good, and I like them as a tag team. I think this is a good place for Matt and Mike Sydal to be a tag team together.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
There's really no room for Matt Sydal in a singles right now without getting drowned out. So having a good tag team like that, brothers tag team, I love brothers tag.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. How many other brothers tag teams are there in AEW? I mean, you got the Lucha Brothers, Young Bucks. Are there any others? Just
Bear Country. I don't know.
The brothers.
I don't
Brother
know.
Bears.
Chaos Theory.
Sure.
We got here.
Just curious. I don't know.
It's the Seidel's weight 75 pounds, but never sell. I did not notice this, and I'm going to take a better look at this. As if you're saying that what you're saying is true, because you're right about Wardlow, so I'm going to take your word on it. that they never sell. I haven't seen, but I didn't get anything that made me think that way. But who knows?
I think that's just a
Smooth's
general
right.
like indie style, right? Like I think like just people just do crazy moves and then don't sell it. It bothers the hell
Darby
out of me, but it's been
sells.
what's that?
Darby sells.
Darby sells, but I'm saying yeah, but I'm saying more of like the athletic the flippy guys, you know, like the Young Bucks and stuff. Like they just do crazy stuff constantly, and you kind of just have to accept that's just the style of the match. It's not going to follow like logic in that way. It's just more of an like a circus show, you know. It's fun to watch this happen, you know.
Well, I'm starting to think that that's just bad wrestling.
No,
I'm
it's
starting
not
to think that
bad
the Young
wrestling.
Bucks. I'm starting
No,
to think the Young Bucks are just making terrible errors all the time, and I wish they would just pull it together, stop doing the same things in every match, and maybe pretend something hurts every now
Red.
and
No,
then.
they
Maybe a little bit.
Jim,
Maybe a little
people
bit.
have
Pretend
been
it hurts.
talking about that for their entire careers, like 15 years now or something, right? Like that's just their style, and it clearly works.
We'll see. We'll see if it works for
Oh my
TV
god.
because we'll see. We'll see how well it works. I guess it's been 2 years it works, but I'm still upset about it. Smooth, I wish the Darks moved away from the squash matches. I might watch if they were good and competitive matches, like when Dark started. I kind of like the squash matches, Swizz. What do you think of the squash matches on Dark?
I kind of agree because it's like not necessary viewing it all, but I like it as a way to just if I'm cooking dinner or something, just kind of put it on.
Yeah,
and I love to see
it's a breath of fresh air.
I love to see like new talent that wouldn't necessarily get the exposure, getting a quick match, getting a payday and stuff. Especially people if they don't have anything to do on Dynamite, they still get like some exposure. They've been recently showing Ricky Shane Page, who's usually in GCW, on there, and I'm a huge fan of Ricky Shane Page. I kind of hate that he's on Dark, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I hate that because he's losing in a horrible way each time, because he should be a monster. Like in GCW, he's like the biggest heel in the Indies next to Matt Cardona, I guess. But it's cool to see him, on AEW, and it makes me hopeful to think he might get on Dynamite or something. So that's why I like Dark, basically.
And also, Dark, when you say squash matches, it makes it sound like these are like WWE squash matches. These are like 5 to 10 minute matches. Like even the people that are doing the job, they get some offense in, they get a little bit of time to shine. They're not like WWE style matches where it's just like 2-3 moves and it's done. Like these are fun matches. So I think you should give it another try. Tony writes here, there's usually like one good match, rest is squash matches. Yeah. Okay, Tony. It rubs me wrong.
That's just right after everything he said. He's like, okay, fine.
All right, Tony. It rubs me wrong with the Seidels because they weigh 160. The Young Bucks look like the Road Warriors compared to the Seidel boys. It just rubs me wrong when it seems like things don't hurt them.
That's a good point.
S, you were making some great points.
S
has been on fire. Wardlow is boring. Seidel's weigh 75 pounds. That the Bucks act like the Road Warriors, making great points. I'm Team S right now.
Hey,
I think I'm Team S.
You thought you were saying S was in the dog pound, but he's no longer.
Yeah, some of my favorite people are the Doghouse. And it's the Do double G.
It's
the
cool place to be. Okay, sure.
It's something. It's like a bad boy place.
This is
like
news
S
to
is
me.
a real bad boy. Yeah. Definitely bad boy.
Swizz is like the King Dog, right?
Yeah, King Dog.
What's the cool, like the leader of the pack or whatever?
No, he's King Dog. Okay. He's King Dog. Swizz is King Dog.
Well,
excellent work.
Night for
excellent
me,
work. No, you're doing great. I think everyone's really hyped up.
Yeah.
We're all into this. Let's talk about another great thing tonight that I think you're going to hate me for. The Christian promo.
Oh, yeah.
I think Christian did a great job tonight. They go out there, the Elite go out there, Kenny Omega's out there, and then Christian's out there, and they're chanting CM Punk. They're chanting for CM Punk, and then they start a yes chant. But what Christian does, because they're doing this during Callis talking, but Christian interrupts, and it's just like, yeah, you're acting, will you shut up, you piece of shit?
No,
and then
it's
he says,
Carney piece of shit.
The Carney piece of shit.
Okay.
And then he says, you Carney jag off to really get the Pittsburgh crowd around and rally around him. And then he cut a really good promo that got me excited for the match. I think that Kenny versus Christian is be great. What do you think of the promo before we get to the aftermath?
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack with this promo and my feelings on it, because I bought tickets to All Out for Hangman Page. I just wanted to see that match live, and those assholes are pushing it further away from me. So I'm a little frustrated, and I'm very happy that the crowd were booing Cage, because it shows I'm not crazy. It shows the whole crowd is not into this, and so I it's one of the few times where I was like actually into the CM Punk chants. I was into everybody shitting on the segment, letting them know that this is a bad idea, right?
But he brought him around though. They were booing when Callis was out there and he was setting up the match, but Christian's promo brought them back.
Yeah, and that show, yeah. So like, I was already going into it with like, okay, all right, if this is what, like, it started. This whole time since Cage has been like, Christian Cage is going to speak tonight about the, about the whole thing. I was thinking like, okay, maybe there's still a chance. Maybe they'll do that match like at the first dance or something. And then Hangman will face, at the pay-per-view, right? And then it started with Excalibur being like, and at the pay-per-view, it's going to be these two facing each other. And I'm like, okay, all right, you've already got an uphill battle, right?
Sure.
So then the everything Christian Cage did just showed that how much of like a veteran he is, how long he's been in the business. Everything he said was geared towards getting everyone to like him, right? Don Callis, that was the whole point of his promo, of just like talking him up the entire time. He kind of failed because like it already started with everyone just like not wanting this segment at all, right? So like, yeah, so Cage starting it off with such a funny and kind of absurd thing of like, Carney, piece of shit, that's funny. What else did he do? Everything he did was just, he called, he catered to the audience like, oh, since I'm in Pittsburgh, call you Jagoff or whatever the hell. I don't know. Well, I'm not from. You like that?
Chef kiss, yeah. Chef kiss. That's classic stuff.
Yeah. So like,
I would love to have watched your face watching this interview, because like I could just imagine you're like grumpy, and then they're booing and chanting CM Punk and yes, and you're like yeah, and then Christian's like, all right, you Cardi piece of shit. And they cheered. You're like, you piece of shit.
I was like, well, that was pretty good. You're very experienced in your job. You've been here for a while.
I would love to see that grimace.
Yeah, but it was really frustrating.
Then afterwards, I guess Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus come out. They're going to have a match with the Young Bucks. Is it this Friday?
Oh, I don't.
For the Impact Championship?
I think so.
The Impact Tag Titles?
Yeah, I assume so. All I know, yeah, the Impact title is the debut of Rampage. Cage vs. Omega for the Impact title.
Which that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's still like, so there's a chance, right? Maybe it's gonna be over. Maybe Cage is gonna be just absolutely embarrassed, and he's gonna be like, "You're right. It should be Hangman."
Give us a honk honk if you think the cool Uncle Moa is delusional.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna give a honk honk. Let us know. I don't know if it's true. Let's see. Man, does it feel? Oh, S writes. Man, does it feel good when Wrestling Dad likes my thoughts? I've been needing this approval, and I'm glad to give it. S, you're such a good kid. You're such a good kid, doing good in school. Everything's good with you. Swizz says, I hate the way the music cut people off like 3 times. Yeah, that's a big.
We gotta talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Well, let's. Do you want to read the comments out, or I don't know?
Sure.
What's the order of this?
It felt like a botch. Swizz added felt like a botch. But let's talk about that. Let's say there's just always production issues. It just seems like there's always production issues where they're cutting off, or they're very quick to time things. Like there's no rehearsals, so the person's just like, well, they're 2 minutes in, doesn't matter, and they just send out the next one. It feels like because there's no rehearsals, the time cues are real fucked up, so they just jump in.
I don't know if I hate that though. In general, I do, but in this specific situation where I guess it works for me because the mics were still live. And so you could still hear Kenny Omega or Jungle Boy or someone being like, wait, cut the music off. It's sort of, I don't know, it had that, it didn't feel like a botch because you could hear them. It felt more chaotic of like, we're not done yet, and is maybe the people in the back were wanting to move on in kayfabe.
I guess I wasn't too upset this time around because it did feel a little bit more natural, but maybe it's because I'm just getting used to it.
Yeah, okay, sure.
They do it so often.
Yeah, they miss so many, the camera team, the editing team, like misses so many big moves, even in this episode, a year and a half into the Dynamite or whatever it's been. So I'm used to that. Of like, of course we missed that. Sure, whatever.
They have to start hiring the furloughed people from WWE, the people that got fired, their camera crew, their operating crew, start hiring them. Start hiring some of those technicians and engineers and operators. Tony writes, it's weird he gets 2 shots. He gets the Impact shot on Rampage and the AEW shot at All Out. I think that's interesting, but Mowat's holding out hope. that something terrible happens to Christian on this rampage.
Just
Something terrible. They just take him out, and no one's there to take up the spot. Then Kenny Omega comes out. He's like, "There's no one gonna fight me." And then all of a sudden, that Lone Ranger music comes out, and Mo's in the crowd going, "Yeah, yeah!"
I'm in my living room alone with a slice of pizza.
No, but that's when you're gonna be in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean then? Oh, I thought you meant at Rampage.
I'm saying then. Imagine something at Rampage happens where Christian gets demolished, the Elite tear him apart, and then he shows up at in Chicago just like, Christian's still not here, he's still hurt, and then Hangman comes out to be like, "Oh, I'll give you an opponent."
Love it. I love it. No, keep going. No, yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah.
And then he loses again, and he doesn't ever win, ever.
Yeah, man.
That'd be bad. The next time they fight, he's winning.
I can't wait to boo the shit out of Christian Cage in Chicago. I'm gonna be the only person. Even if he wins me over, I'm still gonna boo him. I'm gonna be the only person like, boo. I'm saying boo.
I'm saying, oh well, let's talk about that real quick.
It's a joke to the Simpsons. Yeah.
But let's talk about Kenny Omega saying that at the end when so they just the Jungle Boy just issued the challenge saying, "Oh, we're gonna be facing Young Bucks for the Impact titles, whatever," and then Kenny Omega cuts his music when they're doing the Jungle Boy. He cuts the music, so he's like, "Are you saying Are you saying no, 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 no?" And I was so upset. I was so upset because I just hate to see him flex like that, where they're running short on time, where they're jumping cues and all this stuff, but he has enough time to cut the music, interrupt that moment, Jungle Boy's moment, so he could get his stupid joke over because he has that power to steal a joke from someone else so he could do a reference, which is all he does is references. Oh my
man.
God.
Okay, this is a situation I'd really love to hear everyone in the chat's thoughts on that moment because no, I mean, there's nothing I could say to what you yeah, like, objectively, it was a bad choice. It was a bad idea to do that. You're right. But I loved it. I absolutely, because it just hit everything. It was a Simpsons reference. Oh, I hit my mic. Sorry. It was a Simpsons reference. It was very stupid. It was kind of breaking the fourth wall in a little way. Absolutely unnecessary, right? But it was funny. I don't know. It just tickled me.
I don't know what makes me sick. It makes me feel like that.
The only one. I don't know.
Sound off in the comments if Mo is the only one. But one way it feels like, Mo, it feels like Kenny Omega would say that to the Good Brothers to get them to laugh, and they would. And they would, Mo it. That's a Good Brothers laughing thing. Let's see what we got in the comments. Let's see. On AEW not having Hangman on the main event at All Out. Preach, Mo it. Preach. Heartbroken.
Thank you.
S is in your corner. S is definitely in your corner.
S gets it. Thank you.
Chica Marks, oh bless you, Chica Marks. Welcome to the chat. I did like that side of Cage. I did like that, and you know what? It was a good side of Cage. You're making some good points, Chica Marks. Great job, excellent job.
Yeah, he's winning me over, so he's very good. Yeah.
Tony Christian was awesome in TNA. I am actually not terribly familiar. I've been watching a little bit of stuff here and there. I don't know if you've been listening to the Jeff Jarrett podcast. Have you listened to it at all?
No,
Mo?
you're listening to it.
Oh yeah, it's actually the best one of Conrad Thompson's podcasts right now. I'm getting real into it. But Christian, I'm seeing more Christian stuff in TNA. I have to catch up. Do you think there's a chance that Christian wins the Impact strap? What are your thoughts on that, Moa? Do you think there's any chance of that?
I bet he's gonna lose, and then that'll give him more reason to face for the title at the pay-per-view. I bet that's what will happen. I don't know. What would happen if he wins it?
I don't know. That would actually add a really interesting wrinkle to this. But I do like the idea of Kenny Omega still being the belt collector, and I want him to get another belt. Mm-hmm. I want him to get the NWA title.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into that. Sorry, I'm still thinking of like what could happen. Yeah.
He gets the belt, and that's when Conrad Thompson and Jeff Jarrett buy the company, and then he makes him the champion. Boy, what a collection of them all joined together. I sound off if you think Conrad Thompson and Jeff Jarrett are going to buy the NWA, because I'm thinking they are. Smiz writes, you wrestling dad, I love the Kenny bit. You wrestling dad, I love the Kenny bit. Oh, because I am wrestling dad. They love the Kenny bit.
Smiz loves the Kenny wrestling bit. Dad.
You wrestling dad. Me love Kenny bit.
You can tell that's what Smiz is mad.
Smooth sounds pissed there.
Yeah.
You're not going to get in the doghouse because I don't want you to bite anyone. Jeez. Jeez, Swizz. And then Loser Leaves Wrestling writes, yes, thank you. Very good. Thank you so much. Give a Hong Kong for Loser Leaves Wrestling. Thank you so much. Let's move on. We've got more stuff to talk about. Any other woos for you, Moet? Any other woos you got going on?
Let's move on, I guess. I mean, well, is there anything else to talk about with that?
I'm sure the chat is going to keep bringing things back up because they love to bring things up when we moved on to the next topic.
We're like, we have a 30-second delay or something.
There's a 30-second delay.
Give them a break. 30... You put
I'm
you
so
in the
sorry.
doghouse, whatever.
I'm already in the doghouse. I've been in the doghouse. I'm next to King Dog. Who's King Dog? Swizz.
Yeah,
Swizz is King Dog. Tony writes, he needs that NW title. You so right. Is that the most important one? It's not the most important one. But I do think it would be a cool addition, and especially if Conrad Thompson, Jeff Jarrett buy the Chumby. I'm hoping that happens. What are you thinking, Mo? What are you looking at your list?
I forgot to say this. I love the towel thing during Britt's promo. I love the whole the towel. It was a cool visual.
Great
I forgot to mention in the appropriate time when we were talking about it. Super awesome.
And they hand them out to just the right, because they couldn't hand it out to the entire crowd, but they handed out to everyone in the perimeter of that light around the ring, so it really popped.
Yeah,
like you didn't even see the people in the back if they had it or not, but you saw everyone in that crowd in that surrounding area had it. It looked really cool.
How well do you know sports? Do you know sports?
Oh, sure. I get the importance of the swirly.
Do you know Pittsburgh
thing.
Sports?
I know of them.
Do you know that they exist? Well, she mentioned how there's okay, this is kind of stupid. She mentioned how there's how Pittsburgh has had a tough year.
What?
And I'm wondering what the tough year meant.
Unless
she's talking about the pandemic that's crushed the entire world.
Yeah, actually, if you know anything about Pittsburgh sports, sound off. I'm guessing Swizz is going to be a Pittsburgh fan. I know they're from the UK, but I guess Swizz has some information. But that's actually a good point. I don't know. S writes, Conrad buying the NWA. Love you reference the news you can't lose. Nice reference for those of us fully invested in the LLW universe. S,
what is this?
Made in the news you can't lose. We talked about Conrad buying the NWA, and I love that S, bless your heart and soul. Thank you so much. There has to be an opposite of the doghouse. What do we have to? We need something for the opposite of the doghouse. For people not in the doghouse, but they're doing good. The honor roll.
The honor roll? No, that's such a lame. Nobody wants to be on an honor roll. Pizza party or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. We're gonna have a pizza party with S very soon. S is definitely gonna be invited to the pizza party. Swizz writes, I've got no clue about anything to do with Pittsburgh. Don't even get the towels. Ah, damn it, Swizz.
I actually don't get the towels either. I just thought it was a cool visual.
It's something they do at Steelers games. They have the towel, and like in remember the Zulas during the World Cup? They had the Zellas, and then remember. They're like at basketball games at the Clackers.
The Clackers, sure.
The Clacker deals, and this is something that they have at sport, because the Clackers wouldn't make much sense at a football game. That'd be weird. That'd be crazy. They have towels.
Okay.
It makes sense.
I actually thought, yeah, all right. I didn't realize the Steelers. I thought, okay.
Oh, Tony seems to have some information. The Penguins did not win the Stanley Cup. Oh, makes sense. Thank you so much.
Heartbreak for Pittsburgh.
I guess Tony's our sports guy. Tony's going to be our sports guy. We're going to ask Tony some big sports questions when they come up. What did you think of Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia?
Oh, sorry, you missed something. Tony was complimenting you. He said earlier up there, he said the Kenny needs the NWA title. You're so right. It's the most important one. As a belt collector. You did say that?
Yeah,
oh, God damn it. I didn't hear it. Sorry. I'm sorry. What was your question? Let's move on.
I don't know if Mowat's going to be in the doghouse soon. Somehow if you think Mowat needs to go to the doghouse.
Don't do that. Man, yeah, I deserve it. Okay. That was embarrassing. Moving on.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. We're all having fun here. We're all friends. Daniel Garcia versus Darby Allin. What do you think of that match?
Daniel Garcia versus... Oh, loved it. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Right? I liked it a lot. Yeah. I liked... I hadn't seen him. Well, I saw like clips from Dark. I forgot who he was wrestling, but other than that, I didn't know anything about him. So I just loved his style. He's very young, so I think he's got a lot more to kind of like hone in. But I think he's got a style that not many people have right now.
I love his style. It reminds me of who's the guy that was in NXT that did the PowerPoints? Gulag, Drew Gulag.
Oh.
He has like kind of a Drew Gulag, kind of catch can, very technical chain wrestling. Big fan of that. And Darby Allin, I just love when Darby Allin, I love when he faces big guys, but when he faces someone that could go his speed, that's doing ground stuff, boy, does he shine, because he could do anything.
Darby gave him so much too.
Yeah,
he let him. He sold a lot for this guy. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he reminded. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Go on. My bad.
I was just gonna say, like Darby Allin could do any style. I just love seeing him chain wrestle.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he looks great. This guy, he reminded me of early Daniel Bryan, in ROH, Bryan Danielson.
Sure.
In the Indies, of just a lot of the mannerisms, like the expressions he had, just super intense. Like he was walking down to the ring and he was just staring at the camera the entire time, walking down the ramp. I just thought was like a cool little thing he did. Just super intense, very creative with his submission holds and stuff. Very aggressive when he's not in a submission, when he's just, when he's grappling and stuff. Yeah, no, he just had a lot going for him. So I can't wait to see where he goes from here, for sure.
That's a good point. Even when he's doing nothing, he looks like he's doing something. Even when he's giving like a sleeper, or he's going for an arm hold, he's working it. Even though he's on the ground, a lot of people don't do that. They grab the hold and they hold it and they look at the audience, but he's just like making it look like he's wrenching it into the ground. And I just love that. It just, those little things that make a difference.
Very entertaining with the with how he gets into the submissions like that, and that reminded me of Zack Sabre Jr. because his submissions are so absurd and wild that in ways that only pro wrestling can do for these submission holds.
Sure.
And he kind of does the same, where it's more entertaining for me to see how he gets into these positions than what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Like his he didn't really do it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. It's almost like origami. Like it's like an art of seeing them float over each other into this one position. Just seeing how it's done is almost as impressive as the ending.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He tried to do it to Darby in this, but he pulled it off in the dark match or elevation match or whatever it was. But where it's kind of like it was his finisher for that match, where it was like he gets him sort of in a cattle prod, where he gets his the guy's arms behind him, but then he reaches back and then grabs his legs and kind of twists them up. Looking at that, I'm just like, that's just a nice stretch. Like he's doing nothing to the legs. It just looks really pleasant. But the way he gets in
is your Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's kind of ruined everything for me.
You just want to get stretched. You just want to get stretched. Man,
but
you would have loved.
What's that?
I was gonna say, you would have loved to be in Stu Hart's dungeon.
I would have.
He'd be like, "Let me put a hold on you." You're like,
"Okay." Oh yeah. So that's why I'm in a lot of pain right now. This is awesome. But I mean, the way he got into that move is super interesting and fun. That's all I wanted to say. Yeah.
Very good point. S writes here, Sting versus 3.0 might be a favorite feud right now. Those guys are hilarious. I think you're saying 2.0. I think.
Well, they used to be 3.0. Now they changed to 2.0.
Oh, is that?
I think they're 3.0.
Why would they go with that?
I think in NXT they were 3.0. S, help me out.
Why would they go back?
I think you want them to be 4.0. What do you? Well,
yes.
Okay. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess so. Yeah.
Why would you say you're an earlier version, a less up-to-date version?
I guess I don't know. There's only 2 of them. You gotta. I don't know.
But then why were they 3.0?
I have no idea, Red. I just stop yelling at
me. I'm so sorry, Bo. I'm so sorry. I'm screaming right now. But they're hilarious. They have the second best wrestling podcast in the biz. Is that a sly way of giving us a compliment, S? Is that a sly way of giving us a compliment? Guiley Gaming, Garcia is limitless champ. I agree. I think he is limitless, a la Keith Lee, and we hope to see more. S, what if there were a trios match at the first dance with Garcia and 3.0 versus Darby, Stinger, and Punk?
Oh, man, so good. I'd
be let down, honestly.
Wait, why? Oh, because of... Why?
You're gonna have Punk come in, and at his first match his first appearance he's gonna be in a trios match. I don't know if I feel like that'd be. I bless you, S. Bless your heart. I think of the world of you. You're coming to our pizza party. You, Swizz, Tony, the whole gang. We're going to this pizza party. But I do not think that having him in a trios match on his first night in would be the right move.
No, you're right. I like that match in general, but I just realized Punk is probably debuting at First Dance. And what do you want him to do as a debut?
Talk.
Just talk. Just play the music
Give him 15 minutes of just talk, 10, 15 minutes on the mic, and that's what I would love. Hell, even if they give us 2 minutes, anywhere from 2 to 15 minutes of him on the mic. I do not want to see him wrestle the first night. I kind of want to build anticipation. I want a feud. I don't want him to just come in and just face someone for no reason. I want to see something that means something. I want to see something that means something to Punk.
I would love it if, like, maybe if they do this a lot, but I think in this case it would be amazing if he walked out and he had the mic, and then as soon as he starts talking, someone knocks him in the back of the head. Colt Cabana just knocks him in the back of the head, and that's the way the show ends.
God.
I think would be absolutely insane. I guess it doesn't work because he's supposed to be a face right now with this Hangman story. But wow, what, everyone's waiting for years to see CM Punk do anything in a wrestling context, and then gets knocked out immediately. It doesn't show up for 2 weeks afterwards or whatever.
I think that's one of the best ideas. Imagine him coming out to the ring, crowds chanting. They don't stop chanting. You know how when someone comes back and they chant forever, even when they tell them to settle down, and they're still chanting, and then you see him sit cross-legged on the stage, mic in hand, ready to say something, and then Colt Cabana clocks him, grabs the mic, and he's just like, "Hi, CM Punk."
Oh man, great reference.
That would end the night. Ooh. That way, then have him walk off, booze raining down upon him. Everyone would be so furious. You've done it, Moet. We've done it. This is it. This is what we have to pitch. TK, we know you're out there. We know you're listening. You've mentioned, you send us some emails in the mailbag, and we haven't gotten a chance to read them yet. But like, I promise you we'll get to them. We just got so much. But please, that would be an awesome first feud. That's the thing that everyone would want. If they can't do him versus Daniel Bryan, him versus Colt Cabana.
That'd be amazing.
Woo.
Yeah. To go back though, if you don't mind, 2.0, amazing. I absolutely love them. I'm so obsessed with them. The one guy, the really weird guy, there's one guy, I don't remember their names because I'm very new to them. I didn't know, I'd heard about them, but I just didn't care about looking into them when they were in NXT and other places, right? But the one guy, there's one guy that doesn't look like he has a neck. Do you know this guy? What's his name?
I don't know. He's got long hair.
He looks like a Lego figure. Someone just like screwed on his head into like this big wrestler body.
Have you seen that 90 Day Fiance guy that has no neck?
No.
And he's just this short little guy. He looks like him. Oh, I can't wait to show you a picture.
Okay, sure.
It's like,
I don't
ridiculous.
know that. That's a show, I guess.
I'll show it to you.
I just had one thing to tell you real quick. What I loved about this guy is he clearly looks like he was like in love with Macho Man's promos, and he just was like, that's the way I'm gonna do it, and he just imitates Macho Man Randy Savage in a horrible impression every single time he talks. And he's really good at yelling. He doesn't ruin his vocal cords when he screams. He can scream in front of 9,000 people and everyone can hear him and boo him or whatever. And I just love it. And he does the weird like hand gestures and stuff, and he says stupid stuff, and no one else is doing an 80s style promo nowadays. He's the only guy that does it, and he's a jobber at it, and I love it. Yeah. I can't wait to see more from him.
When they had the promo in the back with Daniel Garcia said some nice things. When 2.0, it got knocked up a notch. They really were giving us everything.
God, there's so much, yeah.
I don't know if you could see this. Hopefully you can.
No!
But...
No, you can wait.
Hold on.
Yeah, no neck. They kind of look the same. Yeah, I see. Jesus, please, no more. Red, we can't do that. Okay.
Sound off in the comments if you agree. But one thing that I will say about them, I could watch Sting beat them up all day.
Yeah.
I honestly would. I think their interaction with Sting is so funny to me each time. And having Sting beat them up, I would love for them to have a match. Darby and Sting versus 2.0. I think that would just be fun to have Sting have a fun beat him up, show off what he's got still match, Yeah,
and did you love the whole like jumping Jeff Farmer thing that he was doing? Do you know about that?
No.
Oh, that was on BTE. And I think he did say it a little bit in last week's episode, but he didn't have a mic on him. He was just like screaming at Sting. It's like, you're Jeff Farmer. You're not the real Sting. You're jumping Jeff Farmer.
Oh, they're talking about the
imposter Sting from the 90s. Yeah. And so then, in the BT, he tried to explain to his tag team partner, it was like, this is why I was obsessed with him, essentially, I just thought you'd love that as like a, dumb callback and
I
stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that 2.0 just have a great sense of humor.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think they have a great sense of humor, unlike the Elite, which have a terrible sense of humor.
Talk
Tony
about
writes,
Smoiz. Smoiz has a great sense of humor. I can't wait until you get to that comment. But
"Oh, I can't wait to get to that too." Let's get over. Tony writes, Cabana picks up the mic and says, "Do I have your attention now?" That's actually a great line to start. That's a great line too.
Great one, Tony.
That's a really great line. Great job, Tony. Chica Mark's 90-Day Fiance guy. Woo woo. We all love him. We all love him. Very no that guy.
Thank you, Chica
Swizz
Marks.
writes, Red has never looked better. Swizz, you just won one-way ticket away from the pizza party and into the doghouse. You are King Dog. King Dog doesn't get pizza. Dogs can't eat pizza, dog. Tony writes, it was announced on the post show. It's Ting and Darby versus 2.0 on next Dynamite.
It's Sting.
I read them like I see them.
I read them like you do. You do.
I do.
That's gonna be great,
Tony,
though. That's gonna be super fun, right?
Good information, Tony. That is going to be super fun. And that's exactly what everyone wants. Just seeing their interaction, just seeing them beat up 2.0. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. One other thing. I only have one other woo for this evening. It's Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander.
You liked it? I thought it was great. Yeah.
I thought it was a good, simple match. I thought Nyla Rose looked a lot better this week. I thought she was kind of looking a little slow the past couple weeks, but here she looked really good. And one thing that I love is a pretty short, simple match. Chris Statlander won clean, but Vicky Guerrero's super scream. I loved that. I just think she has like a superpower, and I want that to be more on display. Vicky Guerrero works so well with a live crowd, and they haven't really utilized her to her full potential with the live crowds being back, and I want that. I want her to scream. I want her to get on the mic and really get the people amped up. She could have Nyla Rose be one of the most hated heels in the company if you let Vicky get on the mic before, as they walk down to the ring. As they walk down, don't take away time from the night. As they walk down from the ring, have Vicky cut a promo, and she will get Nyla Rose so over. I just hope that happens.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on
agree.
Vicky Guerrero?
No, we talked about it when she debuted. Like, she's a star. She could be a star, Vicky.
She could be a star.
Because she's so goddamn annoying. And they're not showing that side of her, right? And it's just, it's just a little frustrating. I feel like it's a little bit of a missed opportunity in signing her in the first place and having her come out. You know, I don't see a lot of the value in her yet. The way they're presenting her, it's a bummer. But I love the Orange Cassidy and Vicky thing that they did. I like that he's like kind of attacking legends now. He's sizing them up now. He got Sting a couple weeks ago. He's doing Vicky Guerrero now. I don't know who else. Arn Anderson. I don't know.
Funny.
Who else?
That's actually a very funny point. I didn't even realize
Legend
that.
Killer now.
I like his place right now. Like, he's not because there was an issue where he was being overexposed. Like, every single week we were having an Orange Cassidy match, and we were kind of getting used to the formula. Now that they've taken a step back with Orange Cassidy, like, we could appreciate him again the way we want to, where he's having these little interactions where it shows how creative he is. His interaction with Sting was one of the funniest, one of my favorite Sting moments of all time.
It felt very sweet. Yeah.
Very sweet, and what a good sport Sting is. Sting really is enjoying his time there, and I'm having a fun time watching him. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. We got some things in here. I'm French. Pardon my spelling. Oh, bless you, Tony. I didn't know you were from France. Tony's from France. We have someone from the UK. We have someone from France. Tony, excellent job. Chica Mark says, I liked it. Vicky screaming gave me chills. She's like an X-Men character. She has a power shriek that could just stop anyone in its tracks. I want her to use it on opponents sometime. I want Nyla Rose to get her head near the opponent's head near the corner, distract the ref, and she just screams in their ear.
That's actually really great. That's a great idea,
right?
Because Orange Cassidy was selling it too. Like on the apron, he was like holding his ears. He was like, like that would actually be amazing, and the commentary could sell it, being like, you know,
they could be like, our ears.
Like, imagine you could hear it if it's that loud, you know, through the camera's audio. If it's that loud in the audience, imagine when it's like, 2 feet away from you, right? And then that'd be easy. You could, their ears start bleeding or something. There's a lot you could do with that. I love it.
100%. Then there was Gilly Gaming. Has Vicky ever been face? I believe Vicky has been face. When Vicky first started out, after Eddie's death. She was on TV in an authority role on SmackDown, and she was a face. Then when she started getting over the excuse me thing, she was heel from then on out. She showed up at one of the women's Royal Rumbles, and she like as a surprise entry, and they cheered the hell out of her. As soon as she said excuse me, everyone loved it. But that's the only time I think she's been face. Do you remember any other time, Mo?
I can't think of anything, but honestly, you'd be the one to know about this stuff.
I'm a big Vicky fan.
Yeah.
I'm very versed in Vicky history. S. writes, Orange sold that scream better than the Seidel's would sell a doomsday device from the prime era of Road Warriors.
You're not going to let it go, man.
S, you're being silly. You're being absolutely silly. And I think he's going to the pizza party. We're going to have to invite S to the pizza party because that's very funny. We're going to have to invite us to the pizza party. I guess we're just going to have to do it. All right. Let's talk about do you have any other woos, Mo?
Just something that we forgot to mention from the end of the show with MJF's stipulation for next week. Just a real small thing. His stipulation is that he can't do anything Judas related. So no Judas effect, no Judas song. Nothing Judas related, I guess. And I just love that. I thought I can't wait to see what he does. You know, like I think it's setting it up for to start with just potentially a really special moment. I'm hoping it's one of the few times where I hope the crowd actually does sing the song. Yeah, I think that would be really special, where he walks out and everyone still sings the song.
Everyone's
like, word
singing
for word.
The entire thing.
That'd be absolutely amazing. Yeah. That
would be pretty cool. Even the lyrics that no one knows, even that beginning lyrics where it's like, inside, you know that part?
Run away.
Everyone sings like Scott Stapp from Creed.
Yeah.
Excellent choice. But yeah, I'm actually excited for the whole no Judas thing because I like that the finisher can't be used. I just wish there was a little bit more of a stipulation. A little bit more something, maybe like I wish it was an I Quit match because Jericho tapped at the end. Jericho was tapping. I almost wish it was an I Quit match or like a submission match.
Yeah, I guess so.
I love submission match.
Yeah,
because they both have submissions, you know?
That's a good point. I do love that he mentioned the Judas effect, though, of how that's his finisher, and they protected it the same way as like the One Winged Angel. Like if you nail it, if he hits that finisher, then it's over, right? But it is. I guess it has finished every match so far in the stipulations.
All the labors.
All the labors. That's what I mean. Yeah. So that's kind of cool that there is at least a little bit of a continuity through this thing. I'm into it for that reason. Yeah.
And it's a fun storyline. Even though I wish they ordered them a little differently, it's been a fun storyline. It's been exciting. Chica Marks writes, oh, if the crowd sings, that will rule. I do hate that song, though. Chica Marks, welcome to the pizza party. You're getting a slice on us. That song sucks. Am I right, Moet?
Yeah. I guess. No, it does. I was reading a comment and thinking about something. I didn't expect you to ask me. It's annoying as hell because I'm sick of it. But I do love that the crowd sings it. It's just oversaturated.
Yeah. 100%. And then Gilly Gaming writes, Danhausen will be mad about no Judas. That's a good point. I think in the Danhausen interview, did you see it by any chance?
I didn't see all of it. I watched like the first couple minutes. And I was like, oh, this is so fun because they're like Chris Jericho is actually playing along with Danhausen the entire time, and he's trying to like. Usually, there's like a straight character to Danhausen's craziness of like, what are you saying, Danhausen? You know, but Jericho's like none of that. No, he's just keeping up with Danhausen the entire for as much as I saw, and I love that. Yeah. I didn't see the end.
Danhausen was giving him tips on wrestling. Yeah. Danhausen was giving him tips on wrestling. He's like, when you face Wardlow, before the bell rings, drop to your knees and punch him in the groin.
I did not
punch him right in the groin. And then Chris Jericho's like, oh, and he pulls out a notepad. He's like, okay.
That's so good.
And he writes it down. He's just like, this, and he just explains it. Is that a good Danhausen? You like my Danhausen?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Almost got the fly. Danhausen loves his Chris Judas. He did call him Chris Judas throughout the interview.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Very funny. But excellent job, everyone. Thank you so much. Let's talk about some WHATS. Let's talk about some WHATS because there were a few of them tonight. What would you say is? Well, let me start off with my biggest what of the evening, and it's actually very upsetting to me, Moet. Very upsetting to me. And you know how I feel about Tony Schiavone.
Of course.
You know I'm pro Tony Schiavone. And I think that when Tony Schiavone gets involved, especially when it's physical, it should be a big deal. Out comes fucking QT fucking Marshall, Mr. Boring himself. If the Judas song were a person, it would be QT Marshall. And QT Marshall comes out and he doesn't give a bad promo, but he beats up Tony Schiavone's son, Chris. And Tony Schiavone does not know how to act. He does not know at all how to act. His son's getting beat up, and he's just kind of like, "Oh, come on, QT. What are you doing, QT?" And he's on the ground, and it just feels like Tony Schiavone doesn't know how to show emotion.
Red, what do you want him to do? What do you want? Like,
Cry.
what kind of performance?
That's my
you
boy.
want this guy to cry?
That's my boy.
On command. This guy
Yes.
that's not an actor to cry on command for his boy getting hurt. He's
Why
an
do
old
they
man.
This is something that needs a talented actor. This is a role where you're gonna have QT Marshall beat someone up enough where like Big Show comes out of retirement kind of, like they're trying to make a big special moment. A Big Show's coming to defend a broken-hearted Tony, and Tony, when he's holding Chris in his arms, he's just patting him on the back. You're right.
What do you need for?
Like,
he's not a doctor. You're asking a commentator to play a doctor in a wrestling ring. What else do you need? Look.
Am I crazy?
No,
here?
okay.
Sound off in the comments if you think this was a weird thing to put Tony into.
I get why Paul White shows up. I mean, they're commentary buddies. You want to help your buddy out.
I get that. I guess I wish they punched Tony so Tony could fall on the ground and just
He's
play
an
dead.
old man.
Don't
You
move.
want him to fall to the ground. I'm just kidding.
Well, you can guide him to the
Yeah,
ground.
you can very casually put him to the ground. Yeah.
You could casually, if someone's holding him and they punch him, they could just lay him down afterward. You know, like there's ways of doing it. Bringing his son in so he could get beaten up, and for Tony to be like, "Now wait a second, QT, that's my boy." Like he just doesn't know how to amp the emotion to make it believable. So when Big Show came out, it just felt like a big poop show. It felt like a big fart noise when Big Show came out.
And so how did you
feel about that segment?
Has Paul White done anything in wrestling in AEW yet? Is he
Nothing
right?
physical.
That's what I meant.
Nothing.
Sorry. Yeah. Has he done anything physically? This is the first moment. It was because it felt like a big setup, right? His music hitting and the he walked, I think, slowly on purpose, I guess, to get up to the ring and everything. So yeah, I guess the chokeslam, I don't know. It
just felt like a big dive.
Yeah, it just felt
when it
like
could
kind
have
of
been something
awkward.
more.
Yeah.
What they could have done, and someone wrote in here, Chica Marks wrote, Chris, wait, what would you have? Chris, yes, and Danhausen, and it's sweet. Chris Schiavone no-sold the gut punch, Smiz writes. And the thing is, like, I feel like this is a perfect example of having a run-through earlier in the day, because it does not feel like there was a run-through. They would have known immediately, Tony, you have to amp up the drama, because right now you look like your son just lost Little League, and you're trying to cheer him up.
Sure.
That's how it felt. It felt like that. And so there was no real reason to get behind Tony or Chris. And so when Big Show came out in that slow, methodical way, Big Show should have ran out. Big Show should have ran out to save the guy. Because what is QT Marshall just standing in there doing? He's going to get his head ripped off. It was just upsetting.
Red, S just came up with something brilliant. I didn't even think about this. You're going to hate this.
What's
I
this?
bet you didn't think of this either. What was weird was that Tony went back to the booth and called the rest of the show like nothing happened. You would have thought he's at least a little bit shaken up.
I forgot
That's
about
insane.
that. You're
That's
right.
absolutely insane. You're right. You're totally right. I can't believe I didn't connect those dots. Yeah, that's
S. Chica Marks also says, S, I didn't think about that. You're right. We all in agreement. S, you're getting a gold star for this episode because you've got some really important facts today. And yeah, why is he going back? There's 3 people at that booth at all fucking times. Why not just have 2 people for a little bit just so you could sell a storyline of Big Show's return match that Tony's so distraught that his son got beat up that Big Show's going to come out of retirement to teach these bucks a lesson. Man, oh my God, I'm angry. I'm angry.
Real quick,
I'm angry.
above motherfucking Peacemaker says, we want Danhausen. You see that?
We all want Danhausen.
There was a sign I forgot to mention earlier. The front row, someone had a "We want Danhausen" sign, or "Please sign Danhausen" or something like that, which is awesome. I love that. I would love to see Danhausen in AEW just for a one-off or something. I don't know.
I was talking to some people in our chat and on one of our YouTube videos, our Danhausen video that's blowing up. They like I was mentioning. I think that would be a fun thing to do is to have Miro have that open challenge for TNT title, and that was a cool way of showcasing indie talent, and that'd be a perfect place for Danhausen. Danhausen to come in and just like want to covet the title, wants the title. He's just like, I'm here for the title. Like have the whole thing, and then have him get beat by Miro, but it'll get him introduced to the audience, and possibly get him on TV.
Yeah.
You know.
Trouble, he would get squashed though. That's like the trouble with it. It's like
yeah, he'd get squashed.
Yeah, but like absolutely just like a bug. Just like nothing.
Destroyed.
And I don't know, that's not a great debut. Like, and I can't think of a possible debut where he would do well and look good afterwards, other than, you know, I don't know.
I think that's the only way to get him introduced is to have him, because the thing is like he's not a serious character. And I feel like most non-serious characters shouldn't be serious wrestlers because you make the other guy look stupid when you win.
Unless you do it in a smart way. Unless you do it in a smart way like Yano does in New Japan. Because he's a very goofy character, but he's made his like kind of trickster style of comedy like into an offense where like it totally makes sense why he makes the wrestler look foolish, but it's also like not there, like no one looks bad from it, right? I don't know what. I mean, you know, Danhausen has the teeth thing, right? So, like, you know, there's ways to kind of make him look goofy and still dangerous at the same time, right?
We have a comment in here. Gilly Gaming writes, he should go to NWA.
What?
I think that's actually a better option because NWA Power is very character-driven. It's a very character-based show. He could really shine on an NWA Power.
Do you think... Okay, so... Because you like NWA a lot more than I do. Are there any kind of like wacky characters in NWA? Am I just forgetting?
They're all kind of
there are a lot of
loud.
like absurd, yeah.
There are a lot of loud characters. He would fit in better there than he would necessarily in AEW right now.
Yeah.
And especially rising tides. I honestly feel like AEW, everyone's kind of getting a bump up. All wrestling companies are getting a bump up with wrestling right now because it's interesting. People are involved. So if MLW and NWA, they're all a Ring of Honor, everyone's getting more attention now. And Gilly Gaming, I think that's a great idea. Sound off in the comments for Gilly Gaming. Give them a hoot hoot. Give me a hoo in the chat. What big what did you have going on today,
I'm letting Gilly Gaming know that it's a great idea.
Bless you. Whoever Loser Leaves Wrestling is, they're doing a great job of letting Gilly Gaming know they're doing a great job. Excellent job. There's some other things in here that are kind of cool.
I didn't love the Young Bucks promo afterwards with the Jurassic Express and everything, where they another basketball promo where he's like, it's gonna be as easy as a layup or whatever, and then Luchasaurus comes out and smacks it out, and then Jungle Boy gets the dunk or whatever. You loved that though. I saw you texted me. You said you loved it.
I'm not mad. One of the things is I am not a fan of the Bucks. I don't think that's any secret. I think they upset me more than they thrill me. But this instance, I kind of like that they're sticking with the basketball thing. I kind of think that's funny. Like that's an area I think they got something there. They've got a little seed there. If they're always just have a basketball under their arm, I hate them. I hate them so much. I almost like that's a really good way to get heat because that's so stupid. And also the Jungle Boy getting the dunk, and they're just like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. It was cute.
Yeah, I get more nervous.
It's not a woo.
I get more nervous every time they try and make a basket, either dunk or layup or whatever. Every time they do that, I get more nervous for that than I do for most wrestling moves. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I'm like, oh, I hope they make it in. It's gonna be so embarrassing if they miss, you know. So like every single time, like Jungle Boy, like, you know, because like as far as, you know, the promo goes, like, you know, Luchasaurus knocks it out of one of their hands and stuff, and then Jungle Boy starts running up, and I got like, oh, if he misses it, it ruins the whole promo. You know,
look like an idiot.
Yeah, you're not professionals at basketball. Yeah.
I wonder if that was done in one take. Actually, that's really interesting. I would love to find out if that was done in
one take. Yeah, it was done in one take.
They just keep missing.
Oh, you mean just like one? They just did it one time, or you mean they just keep?
I meant one. Yeah. I wonder if they did it like several times because he kept missing. That'd be pretty funny. We got in here. The NWA should sign Danhausen and cut Tyrus, or just cut Tyrus. Tyrus bad. We all agree. Tyrus is bad. Bad man too, right? If I remember correctly. I think he was on Fox. He's a political commentator for Fox News or something like that, and he got accused of sexual harassment and some stuff there. Not good. Cut
Yeah.
Tyrus. We agree. Chica Marks, haha, Moe. I get get
Yes,
anxiety
yeah.
when they shoot.
You get it.
Chica
Thank
Marks,
you.
thank you so much. I think we all get anxiety when they do when they shoot. When Kenny Omega was shooting a few weeks ago, and he made like 2 or 3 in a
Woo!
row, I was just
Amazing.
like, that was
So
impressive. That was
yeah,
really
impressive.
And they were all swishes, no backboard.
Yeah.
They were all swishes. Excellent job. I guess another. I only have one more. What? I didn't have that many whats this time. This is a pretty interesting show. Was Chavo, Chavo Guerrero. I just find his entire presence distracting. I think Andrade is good enough on the mic where he can handle his own. He's more convincing on the mic than Chavo. Chavo has never been good on the mic. He's always been. He looks phony. It looks like he's a bad actor.
Yeah, and I really couldn't tell what they were going for in that promo where he kept interrupting Andrade. I don't know if they're already trying to create some conflict between him and Chavo when he's like barely been on AEW. It just felt very awkward because I don't know where they're going with this. It made Andrade look kind of foolish because every time Chavo would stop, he would do this thing with his hands, and he'd try to like get back into his stance or whatever.
Character.
Yeah, and it just I just don't know what. I don't know. It was just stupid. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
They're trying to pile too much on Andrade. Like the thing is, like he just showed up. He hasn't. Has he had a match
He's
yet?
had one. At least on Dynamite. Maybe
match.
he's on the YouTube shows or something.
But he's had he's barely wrestled, and you're already stuffing him with this gimmick of being overpowered by his manager. Like, let him breathe a little bit. I'm excited because Pac's promo with the Lucha Bros, the Death Triangle, was great. It got me excited. Pac is great on the mic, and Andrade is getting better and better each week on the mic. Let him do his thing. Let him get comfortable. You're just making him more uncomfortable by having to be interrupted all the time.
I agree. It's reminding me of Miro and how he started, and that I guess Malachi Black did he did a great job, but in general, I thought maybe it was like a WWE thing, like a super popular WWE wrestler coming to AEW, and it's just like a really rough start. And now Miro's like one of the best parts of the show. I loved his promo earlier tonight. Always love him. Love everything he's doing now. But Andrade's having a rough start too, and I think he's just trying to figure out his new character or something in this new style that AEW has, And he'll be.
I'm almost worried that it's not him. I like Miro. I think was a lot him. He was trying to throw a lot at the wall because he's a creative guy. But I don't think Andrade is just pair me up with Chavo.
Well, because
I'm sure he liked the idea of speaking and then having to translate. Oh, the subtitles. That's a cool gimmick. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised they stopped that. That's a weird thing that just stopped suddenly. I thought they were trying to get that over as a thing.
And I thought it was. Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was. I don't know how to feel about it. I thought it was a good idea for the moment. I don't know. It sort of bugged me. I always get bugged out when I watch movies with people like documentaries with people subtitled when you can very clearly understand them. It just feels like a Western thing. You don't understand the Indian accent or something, so we got to do it for the white guy, in Oklahoma that doesn't get it, and it just bugs me. But I thought it was okay for now because I'd never seen that in wrestling before, and I thought it was an okay, a fun experiment, I guess.
Yeah, and I thought it made him comfortable because he's able to speak Spanish, which he's very comfortable doing. He gives a convincing promo in Spanish. He looks believable. I'm sure in Spanish it would be a really great promo because he has a lot of charisma. And I just love the subtitles. Yeah. I was real into it, but we'll see where it goes. Even though I'm upset by it. Gilly Gaming writes, would you have a question?
I had a question, but read what Gilly Gaming said.
Gilly Gaming they put Death Triangle in too many rivalries. I guess what rivalries are they're in right now? Because I really don't know what Death Triangle is trying to be. Honestly, it feels like a group that's not really a group because they constantly threaten to break up. It feels like they've always been threatened to break up. With Eddie Kingston coming in, my best friend Penta. And then there's injuries, and they've always been on the verge of breaking up. And I just feel like that's always been like a weird thing about that. I don't know if they fit. I like Pac solo.
I think it's sort of sad because I think it's another COVID casual. Well, that's a horrible way to say it. COVID issue. But yeah, my bad. Sure. It's just wrestling, for God's sake. Well, because like they started it, and then Pac couldn't come back to the United States a week after they started the group. So I don't know. I'm just bummed out because I actually love them as a trio. I think there's a lot of exciting things that could happen. It's just nothing has yet, you know. And it looks like they're already trying to get them to break up, like as if it's just like a failed project, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of bummed out by it for sure.
I'm just a big fan of Pac on his own. I think Pac really like him. He's great promo, and I just love the idea of the bastard loner. Why would anyone be friends with the bastard? Yeah. He's a bastard. He's just angry at the world for shunning him, for giving him that face and that greasy hair. Like, and now he's made himself so powerful to fight back against those who shunned him.
Actually, no, that's actually a really good point I didn't think of as a character. It makes absolutely no sense why he's with people. I just love them as stylistically. I like them, but I didn't think about that point.
Yeah. Gilly Gaming also writes, yeah, Pac is better solo. We'll see what happens. I am very excited to see Pac versus Andrade.
Yeah, real quick. I was curious, who do you think, because it seemed like they're just trying to pair Andrade up with somebody famous, I guess, somebody important that could talk, you know, because they started with Vicky earlier and that didn't work. And then Chavo is now the thing that's happening. What do you think of like Ric Flair or I don't know. Do you think there's anyone else that could fill in the role?
That's actually very interesting. I personally would say no one. I personally like the idea of him speaking for himself. He's I feel like it's good. I enjoy him speaking for himself. He's good enough with English where like even what he was saying today was all English, and I thought was very impactful. He's getting better and better each week because he's getting more and more comfortable because he was never given this opportunity in WWE to speak. So like I'm excited for it. But if they are going to give him someone, Ric Flair would be interesting. Ric Flair would be very interesting because of the association. I think that would be. Actually, that's a very good suggestion.
He said, Ric Flair just got released by WWE, and he said Andrade said that he wants his whole family in AEW. Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. So that would be a hell of a trios team if they ever pulled that off in AEW. It'd be great. Yeah, and then
Ric Flair's gonna want to wrestle.
He said
again.
that. Yeah, he tweeted that. He said, "I will never retire." So, really, kind of love it. I kind of love that gumption that he's got. But
if they put him in a fucking match, I'll lose my shit. Because Sting when Ric Flair got left, Sting put out a tweet just being like, "Woo!" like excited about it. And if they put Sting versus Ric Flair, actually in a cinematic match at a bar, that'd be pretty cool.
At a bar.
Yeah, because Sting doesn't drink and Ric Flair's trying to get him to drink, and then they have this big fight.
Boy.
I would love to see Ric Flair in a cinematic match.
Yeah, that'd be safe.
Scratch that.
That'd be fine.
Chica Mark's right. You might end up wooing a woo. Wooing a woo. That's actually very fun. I hope that we get that one day. Ric Flair comes and we get to woo Ric Flair. But do you have any other what's tonight?
That's it for me, Red. I think we covered it.
Oh my God. We had such fun today. Thank you all so much for jumping in. All of you are going to the pizza party. It's been decided. The only person that's still in the doghouse, there's no one in the doghouse. We're going to leave. King Dog.
Yeah.
King Dog is allowed to come to the pizza party. The thing is that the issue with the doghouse is if you're in the doghouse, you can't come to the pizza party. It is the bad boy place where all the bad boys hang out, smoke cigarettes, but you cannot come to the pizza party if you're being a bad boy.
Being a bad boy is a good thing, right?
It's a good thing.
But pizza is a good thing. You don't. But even though you're doing a good thing, you're doing it in a bad way, so you still can't get the pizza.
The duality of life, Moet. The duality of life. Well, let's good is bad and bad is good. You can't have the devil if you don't have the God.
Whoa. We got one comment that's important.
Okay, here. Yeah, give it to me.
We forgot to mention Dark Order versus Good Brothers was a decent match. The problem is that the Good Brothers have negative heat. There was no response when they came out. I feel like I'm the only person who likes them. I think you are correct. You're the only person that likes the Good Brothers.
You are the only person that likes them.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's not their fault. They do all the things. They do all the things in the ring right. In the ring, they do all. It's just their god awful, obnoxious personalities that just drive me so far away from them. But that was a good match. It just felt like it was in the middle for me. It wasn't a woo or what. I just thought it was a solid match that ended a little too quick for me.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I kind of feel bad for piling on S like that, but I kind of, yeah.
No, S could take it. S is coming to the pizza party.
Yeah,
S is tough.
Yeah, that's true.
S is tough. If we know one thing about S, been in the doghouse and back again. Gonna eat double pizza, triple pizza. And Chica Marks is very excited for this pizza party that's gonna be happening. Yay, pizza, Chica Marks. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. We've had such fun today. We're all going to the pizza party. Moat's treat. Moat's paying. And we're all gonna have some fun. Thank you all so much. Check us out on Loser Leaves Wrestling on Instagram. We're posting more stuff there. Go to TikTok. Go to TikTok and check out Loser Leaves Wrestling. I'm going to start posting some content there. The news is not just going to be once a week. We're going to do the podcast, but I'm going to give daily or sometimes bi-daily updates.
Bi-daily?
Like every other day. I don't know. Or twice a day. Who knows? That's the beauty of TikTok. You can do whatever you want there. You can do whatever. It's the Wild West is TikTok. But thank you all so much. Send some emails to the mailbag so that when Moet comes back on the news you can't lose, we're going to answer these sweet. We're not doing the news without you, Moet. But not the news. We're not doing the questions. The mailbag with Moet is the mailbag with Moet. I made that. Yeah.
Does Roy have a thing?
He does the tweet of the week.
Okay, no, that's
the tweet of the week.
Yeah. You got to come up with an alliteration for Roy.
The retweet with Roy.
Damn, that's really good. Yeah, great job.
Retweeting with Roy. Okay, excellent job. Check us out. Check out our podcast. And if you don't, we have enough people now, review us on Apple Podcasts. We want those sweet reviews. Keep them coming in. Thank you all so much. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with
Jaswal.
And Moet Jaswal. If you were a type of doctor, what specific field of medical practice would you practice?
That's a great question, Red. I haven't thought about this before, but I will. I guess I guess what you're asking is the favorite body part, and my favorite body part maybe might be the teeth. I think it'd be really fun to stare at like a good tooth, just dig around in there.
Nothing you say I could expect. There's not a single. Every time you're so unpredictable. You're unpredictable, Moet Jaswal. Never give a predictable answer. Thank you all so much. Give it up for Moet DMD. Have a great night, everyone. Bye. Bye, Moet DMD. What a Britt Baker fan. I think you would make a great dentist, Moet. Or would you want to be an orthodontist?
OBGYN. What the heck? S. That's spicy.
Yeah,
I don't have. That takes years of dedication and confidence. I can't possibly pull that off.
And why? There's other so the specific part you'd pick teeth. That's the first one you think of?
Yeah, no, I'm genuinely interested. It would be really weird to stare in someone's mouth like that, wouldn't it?
I think I would go for the. What would I do? I wouldn't do feet. I wouldn't do butt.
No, a butt doctor? Are you talking about? What do you? That doesn't exist.
The proctologist.
A colonoscopy. You could specialize in that.
A proctologist. There's a doctor that just focuses on butt stuff.
I hate that. That's got to be a horrible job.
Do you remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer accidentally gets the plates that say "ass man"?
No. But that sounds like a great.
He gets vanity plates for his car, and he gets the wrong ones, and they say "ass man" on them. And then he's driving around, and everyone's just like, "Hey, ass man!" He's just like, "Hey," and everyone thinks that he's a proctologist. And so then he goes to a proctologist because George's dad falls on a piece of fusilli, and it goes right up his butt. And then he's like, he's the ass man. So it was a lot. There's a lot.
So you want to be the ass man?
I'd be an ass
man. I didn't stop. I didn't hit the stop button because I just thought that was a great story. I didn't. But now I'm gonna hit the stop button. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Oh, we're still
because that was a great story. I just wanted to know more about what you were saying. I thought maybe Chica Marks would be interested, as